If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. One heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Hold on. Walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Threats are part of wrestling, you know? But you gotta look at the person that's making the threats. This fat son of a bitch, he's challenged all of us, has been world champions before, been in this business 15, 20 years, and this fat son of a bitch is gonna drown us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat! I'm gonna...
about this.
I don't care if he don't... I'll make him bleed.
Let's go!
Who are those guys?
Your brothers?
No. Yes!
Beginning to get on my nerves. Who are those guys? I couldn't do that. Could you do that? How can they do that? Who are those guys?
They fucking DIAZ brothers!
DIAZ, get the fuck out of bed, you lazy bastard.
You piece of shit.
Test 1, 2.
Zadecom. Should have said Zadecom.
We're back, everybody. It's Friday. Welcome to the show. TGIF. You know what I'm saying, Brandon?
Yeah.
Enthusiastic today. Welcome to the show. Big round of applause for you guys in the chat. Everywhere that came out to Heroes Con. We'll be talking about it. Let's get into it.
I was
Brando.
watching this video on my phone
Oh
just
my
now.
god. Hold on.
They can't
Wait
hear
for
it.
the bands to finish here. Man, I'm thinking about getting a haircut, Brandon. What do you think?
Yeah, I was told that my hair is long again, even though I don't feel like it
Maybe
is.
they thought you were me. You know, they were mistaken.
Well, your hair is always longer than mine. Well, anyways, I was watching this video on my phone just now where the guy takes the whole pound of bacon that's already been pre-cut,
Right.
like in a package of bacon.
Uncooked.
Right. And then he puts it in a frying pan
Right.
and starts cooking it. And I was like, hell yes.
Mhm.
And then he starts throwing vegetables in there. And I was like,
Oh,
what, dude?
I thought
And then-
Leonard Skinner was going to start playing, you know,
Which one?
Freebird solo.
Oh,
People have been using that a lot lately.
yeah, it wasn't that. So I started scrubbing through the video and then it just ended up being like a stupid BLT. It
Oh
was
my
like big
God.
BLT trying to propagandize me.
Gross. Disgusting. What's up, everybody in the
I'm
chat?
not buying it.
What's up? We got a comics legend, the man who always has the best questions. He says, happy 1 week anniversary from Heroes Con.
Yeah,
That's
we're
right.
back.
That's right. Look at, you got Georgina Floyd looking good in the chat. What's up, Georgina? Thanks for coming out to Heroes Con, grabbing some books.
Yeah.
Maromi was also there.
Dude, pork belly. Pork
You gotta-
belly's pretty good.
Jay Ryan not there. What's up? He says, I'm in the pocket of Big Bacon.
Dude, let's go with big bacon.
Jeff.
Yes.
What's up, Jeff? Citizen Ronan, man of many talents. You don't even know about this, but he's working on some covert stuff right now.
Yeah,
Amazing.
like
It's really
Blackwater stuff, like
some-
government contractor.
Exactly. Zaid contractor. Michael
that's different.
Rushbrook was there at Heroes Con. You can
Yeah.
see him in all the pictures online. Shanny, what's up, Shanny? Good to see you, Shanny.
Not at Heroes.
Not
Con.
at Heroes Con. We don't know that. She could have been there surveilling
I guess that's true.
taking
There were
photos.
those photos, those secret
suspicious,
photos. I'm
glowy photos, I've been calling them.
thinking, yeah.
But
That's
shout
true.
outs to Shanny. Henry Bemis, also not there.
Jesus!
Wrong button. Shame that man. Shame. He went to some other summer con or something.
What is that? Who cares
don't know.
about that stupid?
It's not even summer yet. Even though it feels like it. Let's scroll back up. Let's see who else is in the chat here. Cranberry Landers. What's up? Mugen One. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, what a week. What a time flew again. I feel like it was just last week, even though we didn't do a Diaz Brothers show last week. We were
Right.
at the convention selling our wares.
Yeah, we were selling for the
Yeah.
first time ever.
Always be selling. If you guys are on X, we're streaming on X, Rumble, YouTube. As always, you guys can share this out, be a mensch, and hit that like button as well. Some cool stuff to talk about. We're gonna have JP on tonight to talk about his new book, and then Bancroft is launching a book as well.
Oh yeah.
He's launching his side book, Fractured Mind, which
Oh,
looks
he's
pretty
launching
cool.
his own book.
Yeah, his own book.
That's stupid. Who cares about that?
Oh my god. The Lucent Fractured Mind launching tonight.
Yeah.
Get ready, guys. We're going to
That's
be
like
raiding
that-
into Bancroft. Yeah, he makes books as well. He's not just a promoter. He doesn't just have a big forehead.
Right. It reminds me of that South Park video game. The South Park Fractured But Whole.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't
You remember that? It was
No.
kind of like an Avengers Civil War style video game.
That's where he probably got the name from.
That's probably exactly where he got it from
Interesting.
because he's a well-known stealer.
Plagiarist, we call him. Yeah, he always is coming up with these ideas out of the ether.
hmm
Yeah, Brandon's big meanie, we like to call him. He does this bit and then no one's in on it but me. So, and then we
It's
get
hard to
harassed
tell.
at conventions when people come up and they're like, why are you criticizing my logo?
Who said that? I don't remember that. And even if that did happen, I would pay them no mind.
It was all in my head.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
Shanny, wait, I don't have a big Shanny with the big 5 gifted memberships. Who's getting them, Brandon?
Sean picked one up.
Yes.
Judo Joe Black.
Great name.
Aldous on the farm just off Orwell Lane.
What's up, Aldous?
Kayla.
Kayla.
I'm even gonna try. Tank Ferret.
Yo, Tank Ferret. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shanny. You the goat. You're the duck.
Yeah.
And that gets it gets one of these. Wow.
Where's the audio?
I couldn't. I had to do the audio myself.
Why?
Because it's in OBS and I can't just enjoy the wow. Okay. Kind of ended it too early.
You could do that as a stinger,
No,
and
I
then have it
can't. I had
keyed
to
out.
key it out.
Right, but you couldn't render it keyed out, or
No,
you were
I just
live
took it.
keying it out.
Someone's insane. Look out. Someone's insane.
I got my eye on you, nutcase.
Yes.
Yeah, but
There we go. It's enough. Ignore the wow, Brandon.
God damn it!
All right. Thank you. We got a citizen Ronan says Shanny needs Disco Duck as her song.
Disco Duck.
It's from before my time, I think.
Yeah.
We have
probably.
Snarticom in the chat. What's up, man? He says, did you see they listed the whole cast of the Street Fighter movie?
Wild.
It is
wild.
It is wild. I think we'll talk about it Monday.
Yeah, movie news is on
movie
Monday.
Talk, yeah.
Definitely.
Weird.
Wild.
Some weird, wild cast members on that,
Dude,
that movie.
Dan is in the movie for some reason.
Yeah, it's the clue of Street Fighter movies. All the celebrities in the freaking film. It's gonna be crazy. Michael Rushbrook, our boy. Oh yeah. No, he says, have you had a chance to read Phantoms? Love the show. Thank you, Michael Rushbrook. I've been crazy busy this week. I scripted a Masquerade strip that's supposed to be going up today, but it'll probably go up tomorrow because I still have to letter it. And I have a bunch of stuff to read. I've had no time to do that. Just kind of winding down. But I'm going to read it this weekend. In fact, I have it right here to show off. So after I bonk you, we're going to do a little, I guess, travel call for some of the books that I didn't show off this past week on streams. I was saving them for this one.
Yep.
But thank you so much for the super chat and hanging out at HeroesCon. It was awesome hanging out with you as always. It's really cool to see you selling your books there too. Let me see. Where's my bonk for you? We'll do the classic. There we go.
Yeah.
We got Yellow Flash in the stream chat. What's up, Flash? Good to see you. It says Van Damme Street Fighter in the anime Street Fighter 2 movie is all I need. Van Damme Street Fighter.
Van Damme Street Fighter is a fun movie.
It's pretty classic.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's a fun movie.
Back in the 90s when you had to rent movies from storefronts.
Yeah.
We would rent them. Someone would rent them, and then magically the next day we would have a VHS tape that had it recorded on the.
Right.
You can't get. What's the
Facsimile?
statute of limitations on pirating VHS tapes? So we had
pirating it. You
the
weren't selling it.
back-to-back Mortal Kombat movie with the Van Damme Street Fighter on one
That's true.
tape. So that was dope.
That's true. There was a Shanny membership chat for 26 months that says, apparently I have a membership milestone.
Hey, 26 months. Yeah, let me see. Where is she in the chat? That might have a new. Oh, she's got the Magic Chungus as her little icon
Yeah, that's
there.
the highest
So does Henry
that you could
Bemis.
be so far.
Is it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Those are great. So let's take a look at this. I have the new issue, Michael Rushbrook's Phantoms here. Let's get this on a little close up here. Look at that. Look at that. Phantoms with the big logo in the center.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Yeah, there was some debate on whether to put it big in the center or smaller down here in the corner.
Yeah.
Or here.
Why would you offset it? What's in the center?
That's how
down
he
there?
presented two to some of us, and my choice was the big in the center. I thought it looked cool.
Let me see this.
But
I just want to see real quick because I want to see what's going on down here.
Which is me. Oh, you can now look at my shirt.
Classic.
Psycho shirt.
Classic.
Issue 1. And just the cover looks so cool. I was saying last night on the creative block that Rushbrook, who Brandon calls Mushbrook because it's Michael and
Well, it's easier to
together.
say.
His style is something you totally find in an Udon book. Like he could totally be drawing Final Fight or Street Fighter or,
The Adventures of Dan.
Yeah, the Dan solo series that everybody's always wanted. Or what's the other one? Darkstalkers. Darkstalkers, there's like 3 different titles of games with those characters in it, right? There's like Knights,
Vampire Savior,
Darkstalkers, and then there's another one we have at the arcade.
Really?
And it's like something Moon, and like Morgan's in all of them.
All right, I'm not gonna be mad about that. Felicia, you got Felicia in there.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is crazy. Super, super duper cool. Is there anywhere people could get these online, Michael, if you're still in the chat? If people want to
that guy reminds me of Sabretooth from when he was the coolest in the animated series, the X-Men animated series.
Yeah, he's just like roid raging.
He's just huge, and like the fuzzy thing going on, and his hands are just massive claws.
Throwing cars around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff was awesome.
There were 3 games. What was the third game? Night Warriors.
Night Warriors? That's right.
Guess,
That's what it was. There's a big moon on the logo.
I didn't realize that was one of the games in the series.
Yeah,
what
it's
a
not
terrible name.
Night Warriors.
I remember putting that out.
It's not even near any of the other games in the arcade right now.
Right.
This guy.
Yeah, they should be next to each other.
Classic. So cool. Butt. Look at that butt.
Kushnu butt.
Kushnu butt. Anybody? Deep cuts for Kushnu butt. So shout outs to
Quack Adventures of Kushnu butt.
This is awesome. He was posted up at 2 cons this past weekend. Did you know that? I think.
Who?
Michael. He had a table at Joe Fest.
What?
And is that in Atlanta?
This guy is like
Georgia area?
An international comic book guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Really, really awesome. And let's see, Vampire Savior is good. Yeah, Joe Fest. But whoa, Jim Alaska, what's up, man?
What's up?
Good to see you. Just doing a little recap from Heroes Con, showing off stuff we picked up from our buddies. Oh, the first day, J-Bot showed up. Our boy Jay Vasquez, and he's come out. He's originally from Chicago, and has moved to that area. I think around Charlotte, or one of those states. But he does Berserker, the living teddy bear protecting this little girl right here. He's done some awesome fan art in the past with Berserker and Krim and Jazz.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was so good.
I remember those.
And I think this is a new ash can he came over, dropped off. Oh, this is issue 1. So I have the ash can, which came out previously, issue 1 preview. So I can't wait to look through this as well. Really, really dope stuff. He's got this awesome cartoony style that kind of like throws back to some of the noodle-armed characters.
Yeah, the rubber hose stuff.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, rubber hose characters. Just really, really fun.
Seems like a high-quality book, too.
Yeah.
Like good card stock.
Yeah, and he's doing like grayscale to work on here.
Yeah.
Putting all the values. And then, first some concept art. Kind of the first concept art he had back in the day. So I know he's doing this kind of like on his own time, his own pace, and I'm excited to see how it comes together. If you guys want to follow him, that's cool too. I think this is a different artist though. If you want to follow him, oh, this is Donald. Donald did that. He is at Mighty Bot Studio. He also has a YouTube channel. He does draw streams, hangouts as well.
Nice.
And then,
hold on, here's a question. Amy asks, where did it go? Grow up a little bit.
oh wow,
Yeah, that was the question.
she said,
Oh, wow.
wow.
Great. No, scroll up.
Scroll
There
up
it is.
more.
Can I still be able to buy a Psycho Slumber?
Great question. I guess we'll take a break at looking at these books. I got one more. Good question. Psycho Slumber. Big news. I didn't excuse me. I didn't really announce this anywhere, but the campaign is closing down,
Right.
I think tonight. So I put in for the final day will be today, and I think it closes before midnight tonight. So campaign will be closed down
Right.
on there, and then the books are already on zcomics.com.
Okay.
So if you are going to buy any tonight, just buy them from ZComics.
Yeah, just go to the website.
We don't
worry
have to split anything with the Indiegogo.
Right.
So updated some books on here. You go to comics, and the first two are the newest ones. So we have The People, which we did get some People sales over the weekend at Heroes Con, and I did some like book trades with some buddies, some artist buddies. The People is still here. We still have a bunch of those. Issue 1 and 2 with the blank sketch cover. Awesome value. Only $15 for 40 pages
What is
of
that?
story. I don't make the price.
Somebody's getting screwed there.
Yeah. And then Psycho Slumber is already over here. So the cool thing is you got the choice, of course, from the Rob Willis cover or the Doug Mankey cover. But we do have the very limited black and white variant of the Mankey cover, which is a little bit more expensive. Here. There it is. Only like $10 more, but we only have 4 of those available.
Yeah.
Literally, that's the only ones we have.
Well, it's less is more. Less color costs more.
Well, it's just rare. But we only have 4 books. And I mean, I guess I probably should have put less than 4 to keep one, but whatever. Doug actually might have more. I'm not sure. Don't think so. I think he sent all of the black and whites back with me. So there's only 4 of these guys.
And what is this thing down here? Is this an add-on
For
section?
sale. Yeah, this little add-on. So like if you want, you get the Wastoid Crim shirt, you get added on. This shirts, or if you guys haven't read the Lost Pages all, grab the tome or Lost Pages 3 to follow like or Crimstone, you know.
Right.
So these are available now on Zade Comics. You get the little trailer there too. Grab those if you guys haven't yet, if you've been waiting on it, or if you want the very rare black and white.
Yeah, because it's unusual, but we're selling out of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff is being sold out now.
Yeah, we can talk about
which
that.
is crazy.
At the show, I'm pretty sure now we're sold out of Lost Pages 1s, the Bisley original printing cover, and the Dandal reprint. So those are basically sold out. So we do another campaign, we'll have to do a reprint or but if you guys haven't read those, the tome covers that.
Right. Yeah, the tome is a good value.
Yeah. The I think that we talked about that on Monday, where we had the last Lost Pages 1 we had was printed upside down and backwards.
Yeah. I don't remember if we spoke about that, but that was true.
Yeah, so we had a guy who was coming over to do the stamp rally, and he wanted the Lost Pages 1, but the only copies we had were one
there's one left
beater copy of the Bisley cover, where
Right.
it's like the cover is really
Yeah,
messed
it's been
up.
chewed on by a mouse or something.
Yeah, we just used that as like a flip through. And then we had the reprint cover, but I was about to sell it and then realized it was printed upside down and backwards.
Yeah, so if you opened the cover, it was it the back page but upside down?
Yeah.
So you had to flip it over and then go to the back cover and then read it backward like a manga but upside down. Like the cover was upside down then still.
Yeah. So while I was away from the table, Brandon sold it to some guy.
Right.
Who, and you explained to him, right?
Yeah, I was like, dude, you might not want to buy this book. And he's like, no, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then he came back the next day to get me to sign it.
Right.
As I was at the table. And then Brandon's like, before you sign it, we could trade you out for a tome, which has book 1 and 2 in it.
Yeah, and Myths of Lost pages in there. So there's
over 200 pages.
Yeah.
And like, so he wanted to trade it. So we still have the crazy misprinted one. We have a couple, not exactly like that, but another one that the cover was printed wrong.
Somebody asked if we save a box of comics for ourselves for the first print for archiving. I usually take one copy and I'll put it in this box that I have.
Yeah.
But I don't save like a whole chunk of them because we just usually put them for sale.
Yeah, well, we have some. Yeah, the ones we saved too. We have some saved that are like framed as well.
Yeah. Those they're encased in lucite
on my wall, signed by I have a Lost Pages one that's signed by Joe Ball, Simon Bisley, Maria.
Oh yeah, that's like the whole cast. In there, right?
I just need like Alan and Maxie, which Maxie's in the U.S. now, so I may be able to track him down at a Texas convention.
I was still waiting for those to come back. The copies I have from bronzing, so I'll have those copies.
Dip it in bronze.
We have it. Yeah, you have it bronzed.
But I would say, oh look, Kayla's here. She got a membership. What's up, Kayla? I would say that the highest single book sold at the con at our table was the Butt Book.
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
Which is weird.
It was the first sale we got on Friday was this chick. She wanted the Butt Book.
Yeah,
and then we almost sold out of all the copies we brought.
Yeah, I only had 2 left at the end, which is unheard of because I generally only bring a couple because I'm like, these aren't really going to sell.
Yeah,
statistically. So I brought a bunch for some reason because we were driving, and then we sold all of them but 2.
Yeah.
I was really hoping we would sell those 2, but
I think it was placement. I think even though Jake, Hyper Wiz Art, was trashing our setup, I think he was wrong because where the placement of the Butt Book was, everybody was like looking at it, even though they couldn't take it at. We have like this shelving unit that stands on the ground and unfolds. It's like 4 bookshelves.
Yeah, it's like a magazine
is
stand.
So big because the hardcover, it's hard to get out.
Right.
So people were like reaching for it and like trying. So I would just hand them one to look through. But I think that really drew people to there because we've never displayed it before on that little shelf thing.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder, like, because it was on the bottom.
Yo, he's Munster.
Which is weird. Instead of it being like so up front at the top where it's like overtly, obvious, like being at the bottom was kind of like,
and it's
what's
white.
That down there?
It's white and it contrasts against the black tablecloth,
right.
And the shelving unit's black too. Interesting, like stuff like to keep in the back of our minds when we go to other cons. Oh, with Bud Root there, it helps. Yeah, we talked about Bud Root on Monday. Brandon and him
Bud Root
talking.
Yeah, that was
really
cool. Meeting him, he was all about the art. He's like, wow, this is amazing. It's like, here's my email address. Email me.
Yeah, it's awesome. Jake has a camera that looks like a Game Boy screen. His critiques are invalid.
Yeah, was he using that like Game Boy camera?
Yeah, last night as well.
Cartridge with the camera on top of it to stream.
Yeah, basically.
I have one of those. I want to take some photos with it. I wonder if there's a way to get the photos off of that onto a computer. Because that would be really funny to take photos.
That would be funny.
And use them for stuff. Instagram posts.
And then the other thing. I have
the printer
that we have, which is fulfilling now. I think the man's in the chat right now. Chad Townsend's. Look at this. Look at that. Black Phantom, Holy Terror, #1, fulfilling now. This is the. I wish we could shut the lights off.
Cut the power to the room.
Cut the. This is the black glow in the dark. I don't know why I said black. Glow in the dark variant
You're
cover.
probably gonna say black light.
It feels so cool too. Like,
Yeah, it feels really cool. I bet.
the black is raised.
You think they UV printed that on there? They
I don't know
they
what that
had to
means.
have.
Maybe.
Well, it's like a resin, and then it gets UV cured. I wonder if we can make it glow real quick with this flashlight.
Well, don't blind me with
Let
it.
me look right here into this lens.
He does that all the time. Let's see. Just hold it up to the camera.
Hold on, I'm glowing it.
Hold it up.
I'm
Let's see.
charging
Hold it up to
the
camera.
electrons.
Hold it up to the camera.
Hold on, I'm charging the electrons. Yeah, there it is. No, you
This
need to
looks
get
white.
you need to get closer.
All right,
It's still glowing.
I got blinded.
All right, you're on the closer.
Ray.
Go, go, go. Yeah, you could kind of
All
see
right,
it.
give me the flashlight.
My God, you're gonna blind
How
yourself.
do you use it?
Yeah,
What is this?
it's the small button on the top, on the back, on the back,
What do you mean? Oh, this,
on the back.
you want to point it out to me? This thing in the back?
This button on the back.
All right, guys. Is it going to blind all you guys?
No, the
No.
camera.
Camera don't even get blinded. It doesn't have any feelings. It doesn't work, Brandon.
Yeah, what's up with that? He wished it would glow more. Oh, it did. It streaked down the middle. Look at that. It's streaking. This is the worst commercial for this comic. I'm sorry.
Look at.
I'm so sorry.
No, you guys get it. If it was only dark in here,
All right. Turn
That's
off
pretty
the
awesome.
flashlight. Why did you give me that and not the flashlight?
I wanted to keep the flashlight.
Yeah.
Let me look at this though. This is the first appearance. Let's see if I can find him. Gremlin.
Put the light behind it.
Yeah, look at this. This is cool.
See, Cranberry Langer's knows. Yeah, this is one of them cool flashlights. Henry Beam is just refunded because of how bad
Oh
the
my! You
glowing
didn't even buy
is.
this version of it, Henry. Don't lie. Yeah. So I'm super excited to read that. That's fulfilling right now. Gonna be dope. Look at this guy, Michael Bancroft in the chat. Big night for him. He's launching over on his channel right after this. We're gonna be rating over there.
Hold on a second. Jamie's here now.
What's up, Jamie?
Over a half hour ago, she messages me on Twitter to be on the stream. Shows up half hour late to the stream.
Wow. Boo this lady. Boo earns. All right. A little sus there. We got He's a Monster as well.
What's up?
There you go. No explain magnets. Yeah, it's all magnets that makes the glowing work.
Yeah, that's probably why there's not enough magnets. I like it.
Yeah, it feels really cool, and it's the most glow in the dark comic I've ever seen.
And it's textured just by the nature of its printing, which is pretty cool.
Chad
Like
says
raised.
blue's not able to be done. All right.
Blue
glow in the dark.
Blue glow in the dark is able to be done, but maybe they can't
Not
print
from
it.
this comic person.
Because seeing how
We'll try.
how weak the green is on here, blue is even more difficult to actually get
It's
to
not
glow.
weak, though. It's insane.
Huh?
The green glow?
It disappears really quickly, is what I
Oh,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah, because
in
how
light.
thin the ink is
Yeah.
must
Let's
be the
thicken
reason.
up that ink.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
Frickin' Shanny. Is this it?
Yeah.
Nope. Is this it? Nope. There it is.
There's a monthly membership.
Yeah.
$10 a month for 5 months, hooked on flashlights. It shows you how to use a flashlight over 5 months.
Funding for Phil to learn how to use flashlight. Wow. The shade plus the fitty. I deserved it. Thank you. Jesus. Shanny, you're insane. And hopefully we have the duck call. Can we get a bunch
How
of
could we
ducks
not?
in the chat for Shanny here? I've never used that flashlight before. Okay. It's shaped like a
It's like a candy
thermometer.
bar. It's shaped like,
Yeah,
a candy
bar. Yeah,
it's a
there's
delicious
no
candy bar flashlight.
on candy bars here.
That
Right.
self-microwaving hot dog had a button on it. You remember that?
I do. This also deserves wow.
He needs like a ting when he winks. Like a ting.
Yeah, well, we're still working on it. All right.
God damn it.
All right, that's the book talk from the convention. In other news, printing talk. We've had we talked a little bit about this over the past few months, and it's happened. Mr. Peter Cimetti has reached his funding goal on Fund My Comic, $15,000. This was a couple weeks ago, so it might still be up. I don't really know, but he's exceeded the 15 grand, and he's going to be printing newsprint books himself. Freaking awesome. Shout outs to Pete for getting this done, and shout outs to everybody that donated to it, that supported the campaign. Very kind of unorthodox crowdfunder, but something new, and he's taking a chance on himself. I dig that. It's awesome. If only we could print out.
We
books,
could
Brandon.
do that.
Only
I just need to figure out the image justification on the page.
I mean, there isn't, because we just got back.
Yeah, I've been out of town for a week. That's the update.
So we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to print our own books, and if we can, the Western preview is gonna be the first thing. So hopefully we could try that soon, within the next month.
Yeah, within the next month, I think. It's going to be a busy month. It sounds like it's going to be a busy rest of the year.
No. Is July a busy month?
Yeah.
I thought August is the busy month.
Well, August is a busy month, but July is a busy month also.
And then April is the cruelest month.
Right, April's the cruelest month. We've gone past that.
All right.
You know, we're in white boy summer now, rocking and rolling. But July has Big G Fest,
Big G Fest.
and then
Not to be
prepping
confused
up
with
for that.
Little G Fest.
Yeah, G Fest. We got secret special guests coming to the arcade.
You can't say who's coming to the arcade.
Huge special guests
We'll
coming
talk
to the
about it.
arcade.
Maybe he'll be on the Diaz Brothers show.
He won't, I'm sure. I mean, if he popped in,
That would be hilarious.
that'd be crazy, dude. That'd be crazy. He'll
Yeah,
be
okay.
here.
He'll be here during
He
the
will
Diaz
be
Brothers
here. And then, you know, there's just stuff going on. So, and the rest.
show.
So
Well, we can get away and try to print some stuff.
yeah,
Let's
America's
see.
250th birthday. Usu.
Nice.
Yeah,
Usu.
big hey yo.
Yeah, hey
Dude.
yo, he's a monster. What's up, brother?
But book 2 should have an actual 3D printed ass on the cover. It won't fit on the bookshelf. Okay, so funny that it says that because I'm formatting Butt Book 2. I drew the cover.
Mhm.
I'm changing the back cover. So I'm formatting that book. I had it formatted before, but apparently there was errors in it. So I'm reformatting that whole thing. But it's funny that you mentioned that 3D thing, because I was watching this video of this guy who got, I forget what it's called, but it's a new type of UV printer.
Yeah.
And it can print on basically anything, and it can build up the material up to 5 millimeters thick. So you can make like topographical print jobs where they're like raised up and stuff.
That's
and so you
hilarious.
totally could do that. Like you could take your drawing or whatever piece of art, create a grayscale gradient map for depth of that, and then use that to build up the shape of whatever your drawing looks like and have it printed on something. Pretty funny. Acid graphical, yeah.
Yeah, well, what you could do if you do like a third one, then you could do a slipcase that has that to it.
Yeah, that would be funny. Or like, yeah, like a binding thing that like keep the book closed, kind of like that. Not Necronomicon latch.
Yeah, more books are on their way. The high demand at Heroes Con for the Butt Book, you know.
Yeah, it
going full force with number 2.
re-vinegarated me. Yeah, it was full of vinegar. And then I started formatting that book. So I'm excited. I want that book to be I don't know if it'll be ready, but I mean, it'll be ready, but I don't know if it'll be printed for Fan Expo.
Right. If we go to Fan Expo, it's in August.
Yeah, you're right. If we go,
we're on the wait list. That's another thing too. I'd like the preview
Fan
for
Expo.
the Western book for Fan Expo if we're able to get on in Artist Alley. Oh, excuse me. Yes, that would be dope.
Yeah, cranberry langers. Anything other than vinegar or just vinegar? I'm full of piss and vinegar. First, I was just full of vinegar. It's a Simpsons joke.
There you go.
Moromi just lost power.
No. Yeah, my internet went
You
out.
shouldn't have cut your hair like Samson.
Oh, the power.
Never cut your hair.
But I was
It's the source of your power.
Wait, is this a this isn't a Lucent trailer? I guess the Lucent trailer is going to play at the start of...
You're dropping it now? You're undercutting his show? We're launching it.
I'm pirating his Lucent trailer. Just finished the Fractured Mind trailer, premiering it tonight on the long stream. There you go, guys.
AI interpolate the trailer real quick.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this. Yeah, so this was supposed to drop today. Well, the Zaid Comics account said it was going to drop today, but I said this week.
Yeah, who's running that account?
I don't know.
Fire that guy.
Yeah, we got to stop paying him. But this is freaking awesome. All of you channel members, tomorrow at some time, most likely in the evening before the week is over, the next strip, I think this is strip number 11, I think, is going to be dropping. You'll find out the next... what happens next in the story of Lila being kidnapped by Boss Brass, a badass big band robot. Super cool. Masquerade, getting ready to kick some butt. Mobsters are involved, of course. It wouldn't be a Masquerade 1930s extravaganza without some mobsters. And Alan drew the hell out of this one. So really fun. And,
if Alan drew it, why is there an R hidden in this guy's hat band for Rushbrook?
Oh, that might be for something else. But yeah, I do see the R right there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I have a lot of stories planned out for these strips, and I'm excited to get them out there. You guys, being channel members, help us pay Alan for these little strips. And hopefully we could print them one day and collect them. Be pretty dope. Maybe we'll have some lobster villains.
They're going to be lost media one day.
Why? Because Google Drive shuts down?
Well, we'll all be dead.
Oh my God.
And then the aliens will come and discover a single panel of the Masquerade.
Mark's in the chat. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. So a little update on that. That'll most likely be out tomorrow.
I keep walking past this pile of garbage that's in the hall out here, outside the office, and on the top of it is a hand-drawn short, one of these comic strips of the coconuts.
What?
You remember the coconuts?
You?
Yeah, drawn by me. It's just
hand-drawn?
out in the hallway, and it reminds me of how cool the coconuts were. And how we abandoned the project.
Let's take a little Topo Chico break.
And then I was like, I should probably do something with that before it gets thrown away.
Foaming. What is this foaming?
It's foaming? Does that have baking soda in it? Sodium bicarbonate?
I don't know.
Why are there so many ingredients in this, dude?
Topo Chico, man. Those Mexicans, they love sodium bicarbonate.
Yeah, well, there's potassium sorbate.
Oh, that's my favorite. I like raspberry sorbate, but potassium
minerals for taste.
A little better.
And it's just baking soda water is the way to go. Cold baking soda.
Ryan says rip coconuts. Coconut. We're supposed to be having a guest writer come on to write coconuts.
Yeah.
All right, but they're slacking.
He's gone a little cuckoo nuts.
Oh my God. Let's see what else we got here before we bring JP on. Talk about his book. Oh, this was hilarious. We talked about Black Phantom. Speaking of Chad, he made a special ash can for Heroes Con. Did you hear about this, Brandon?
No.
And the books arrived at his house while he was driving to Heroes Con. So he couldn't bring him to the convention. I guess he's going to put him up on his shop.
That
but
sucks, dude.
look how cool this looks. This is I want to get this right. I can't even see this. Biodegradable Jiu-Jitsu Jackalopes. A Chad Townsend story. New, obviously, modern take, jackalopic take on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everything you love about that late 80s action. And just looks super fun. I love the cover. The colors on him, the cover really pop. And,
I'm hoping for a
cool.
super powered, like insanely jacked Esquilax villain character in here.
That would
That'd be
hilarious.
awesome.
That's not even a jackalope on the cover. I think that's like some sort of dinosaur, like a raptor or something.
Is that Denver the last dinosaur?
It might be. Super cool. Yeah, hopefully he gets those up because I want to buy one of those and see what he's going to do with that series. Super fun. And then this is, speaking of Butt Book, you were talking about a root. He was digging your art.
Yeah, he was all about it.
And then now, look who tweets out the Butt Book. None other than Mark Miller.
Mark Miller tweeting out.
He says, "Yeah,
Dr. Zaid's Butt Book." Yeah, that's what he was talking about. He probably doesn't even know what Vatican City is at this point. He was like, "Yeah, look at that." And then he sort of look at, because he didn't say anything about Vatican City, right?
Right.
But he puts the word ass.
It's true. He put ass right in the tweet.
It's right there in the tweet.
Miller, clearly a butt guy.
Clearly. You don't spell yes with 3 S's unless you're intentionally putting the word ass in there.
That's true.
That's right. You can't spell yes without ass.
Oh, that's hilarious. Obviously, you got Vatican City here as well.
Oh, Citizen Ronan says yes is Scottish for ass.
Amazing.
You saw the book.
And Elasman's book in there too.
Do you think he was at Heroes Con in disguise?
He could have been. He's right. He's a well-traveled man. He could have been there. There was a lot of comic people there. And do we still have butt books to sell, right?
Oh yeah, there's a number of them. There's not as many as you think. There's probably like maybe 15 left or something
Count
like
them up
that.
so we don't run out of them and then not have any to.
That's the idea, is you want to run out of them. So go to the website, buy them while you can.
Yeah.
Because I want to do the second one, and I want to do the second one soon. Dude, I was formatting the second one. So this one's like 60 something pages. I don't remember if you remember I don't know if you remember from earlier in the episode when I was talking about formatting it.
Yeah.
So there's 64 pages, 65 pages in this book. And the next one is almost twice as thick as this. So you're talking like nearly 120 pages of drawings.
Yeah.
In the second one, drawings are better. The book is thicker. You like it extra thick.
Yeah, extra thick.
You have to do like that.
Extra thick.
Yeah.
Exactly. Extra thick. That's gonna be cool. Dude, you're wearing a Crimstone shirt.
I didn't even realize I had one of these shirts.
It's a good shirt.
Unless this is yours.
No, I wore mine at Heroes.
Right. This showed up in my home office, and I was like, I didn't even know I had one of these shirts.
Yeah.
And so I ripped the tag out of it, and then I put it on this morning.
It's a good shirt. You can get that shirt at statecomics.com. People were wearing it at Heroes Con, and I was that people.
Yeah. Will there be a Zaid Comics summer sale?
Ooh, I think there probably is still one going, and it has not been shut off.
From last year?
Yeah, maybe.
What would be probably all right would
Like
be
shirts.
an incentive. If you buy some number of comic books, you get a CG vacation towel for free.
Ooh, free towel?
Yeah.
That's
I think
a good
that would be a
idea.
good incentive.
And that's for summer too. We have a lot of CG vacation towels.
Yeah. Full-size beach towel. Awesome CG vacation art done by 6 a.m. Comics.
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Our
Comics.
boy, 6 a.m. Comics.
Yeah. So needs to be advertised. Well, I just made it up right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Could we do a thing? I don't know how the website works. And that is a good segue into, let's see what time we got.
we got
7 minutes. A segue into website stuff. Because there's website stuff I want to do. But could we have it like if you put multiple things in your cart, there's some sort of discount that happens?
I think there's a way where you can make a code have to reach like a certain value before you can use the code.
But you have to use the code.
And then you'd have to use the code. Yeah, like I don't know how you would do like a
Shani
U-line
says yes.
thing.
Our website lady, Shani, says yes.
Yeah.
So you're wrong, Brown.
Maybe. I don't know about that. See, I've never been on the internet, so
yeah,
I'm not really sure.
We'll tag Shani in on this one.
For the magic cups though that you have to hand wash, we'll do a thing where you have to order a minimum of 10.
10 cups. Yeah. I think
it's a JavaScript thing.
Someone bought a cup.
I don't even drink coffee.
If I bought a cup, I think we just gave him the cup. But we had cups there and towels.
I think it wasn't Bobby. He was like, I'm such a thirsty boy.
Yeah.
And we're like, here, you could just have one of these.
Yeah. Bobby got a cup.
He was all berries and cream, but he was all about water instead.
Yeah. What's up, Bats? Changed his name to just Bats now.
Is that Bat Sauce?
Yeah. He came by.
Yeah, he was there.
I don't think he bought anything from us, except I bought his book. You know, he didn't buy our book.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe next time he'll learn. What about a magic mug?
Magic mug that changes colors. Yeah, you could probably do that.
With the heat,
pretty cool.
magic mug where the top comes off of the chick, off of Ellie.
Yeah, that would be funny.
With the heat, those kind of get destroyed
clothes
in
are
the wash as
falling
well.
Off.
Yeah, I guess bad sauce. So website stuff. Of course, we're on Global Comics.
Mm-hmm.
You guys could read a lot of our books on there. We just added the Lost Pages 3 on Global. So if you guys have not checked that out and you have an account, definitely read through that. I set up the whole frame by frame reading, which is cool. I thought we could also put digital books on our site too.
Right.
So I kind of want to look into that to be purchasable digitally.
Yeah, I was watching this video. It was about a VHS tape that you could only watch 2 times before it blanked itself. And I was thinking we could sell a PDF on the website where you could read it twice before it self-destructs and it wipes your hard drive.
Oh, no.
That way, like even if you screenshot it.
Yeah, there'll be no evidence of it.
Well, yeah, or you wouldn't be able to.
That's like a Mission Impossible thing, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Can embed them as an iframe. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but then you got, Apple.
Is that the digital thing? Is she talking about that?
Could be. I don't know.
What are you talking about, Shani? That sounds cool.
She's probably just making stuff.
Can't we do that? I don't know what that means. But is that like so they could read it in browser? Oh, the other thing was
look at HTML.
I don't know what that means either. What's that as an acronym?
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about is I think like Bancroft on his site, he's got like you could sign in, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that. Like we don't have accounts. But we can
do it.
So for that, why did I bring that up? Like you sign. Oh, like also for the masquerade strips where we have them for members on the YouTube channel, but it might be better for us to have the members on the site.
Right. Yeah, because they took 4chan down, right? Now they need like a new place.
Right.
For
Z
people.
Comics could be the next 4chan is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm thinking.
And you might be we could put the masquerade strips and other strips on the site if people would rather be site members, but then it's like, what about the channel members, and the emojis and stuff. So we'll brainstorm some stuff. We'll probably never get around to doing any of that. So
it's gonna be a busy month.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like August is going to be more busy.
Yeah, August is going to be all over the place. Be zipping all over the country.
Here's some comic news before we send the link to JP. She writes code. Look at this. Shani writes code. Nice.
Cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
My people call your people, Shani.
She's like the key master from the Matrix.
So we don't have any.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
I don't know what just happened. Gambit news, but here's some comic news I thought was interesting.
Comic news.
Of course, Marvel did the X-Men 97 television show.
Right.
Rip Gambit.
Yep.
Gambit was in there.
You're going to talk about those stupid jackets again?
Now they're going to be in the stupid jackets.
Did you see at Heroes Con the guy wearing the jacket?
No.
There was a guy in the big X jacket. Where's a black jacket with a yellow X, and the jacket was huge.
That's hilarious.
I don't remember if you were at the table, but I didn't point it out to anybody else because nobody else would have known what I was talking about.
There was a Gambit cosplayer who had a cool. Let me see if I can send the picture. It had a cool costume. His staff glue.
His staff glue?
Yeah, his staff glue.
To his hand?
Let me see if I can find it here.
Cranberry Langus says, they killed Gambit? They killed Gamby.
Yeah, watch the show. So this is kind of Gambit news.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
I sent it to you.
Everybody look at my watch.
I sent it to you so we can.
This guy didn't even pose.
No, that was his pose. I'm like, hey, man, I want to take a picture with you. And then he turned.
Hold on, let me pose.
Yeah, he's posing.
He's not posing.
You guys could see him there, right?
Also, he ruins his costume by wearing his lanyard, which was unnecessary.
Look at that. But his staff was the coolest thing because it wasn't glowing before I took the picture, and then he turned it on.
Yeah, the staff turning on was cool.
It was really cool.
It should have had some chase lighting in it. It was just on. Because had he had an effect in there with like some variability to the LEDs, it would have been really cool. Yeah, like if it was charged, like if he was charging the staff.
Yeah, first I charge the staff.
And then I stand for the picture.
Then I leave it on. We're going to send the link over to our boy, co-host
of
cool. The
Gutter. Abs seems sus. He looks like there's a load in his pants. That's harsh.
Oh my goodness. He might watch the show, everybody.
Which JP is this? This is not the JP I know.
I don't think you know a JP.
Yeah,
JP Pitts?
Yeah.
No,
it's the hype man. The hype man.
It's not
himself.
the hype man. You know, Doc just calls him the hype man. He never refers to him when he's on stream as Josh.
Yeah, I think it's ironic.
Or JP. The other thing I was going to mention is they're now doing a Spider-Man 94 comic series.
Who the hell wants that? I want to watch more of the show.
Right.
Except I don't really. I should probably just go back and watch the show.
Yeah, watch the show. I feel like they're probably going to do an animated show.
That art sucks.
I feel the art it's a little off from the cartoon.
It's not even anywhere near the cartoon.
They're trying.
It's just terrible. It's like the character designs from the cartoon, but not
right.
They don't look anything like it.
Let's make sure we got the red and blue reflections.
Yeah, let's make sure that Mary Jane is wearing her big yellow sweater. Don't forget that.
That's true. All right. Our boy is here. We got him. The creator of Eudaimonia, New Harlem. He's got a campaign right now on Indiegogo. The link is in the description. And let's make sure this is side by side. Here he is, Mr. JP himself, Raiden Radio. You know him. You love him.
What's up, man?
How's
it going?
Good, man. Those Spider-Man abs were pretty sus, too.
Yeah.
On that drawing, let's look at it again. Yeah, he looks like he's made exclusively in the medium of gummy.
His gummy Spider-Man.
He looks like, you remember in Back to the Future 3 when Marty put like the front of a stove in his coat? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's right.
So bad.
Classic. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, good. I was a little sick over the weekend. I tried not to admit it, right?
Yeah.
And
it's just allergies.
I shook everyone's hand.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, you were patient zero.
I didn't want to get anyone upset by telling him I was sick. I was just saying it was allergies. So, but I'm feeling better now. It's almost out of my system.
I just got back. I was on a cruise a couple weeks ago, and the wife
Petri dishes.
She just brought around like a bottle of Purell, and I was like, I don't need that, but I did. I used it, and the people that we were with when they got home, violently ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks out.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
There's rumors in the chat that you're dressed like Elton John.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Always.
Yeah. All ABDEJ. Always be dressing like Elton John.
Oh, that's a
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. People in the chat take that up.
We got Rick Saylor in the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you. But we are here tonight to talk about your new book, the third book. That's correct, right? Let me see. I have it somewhere here. In the Eudaimonia series.
Mm-hmm.
And you sent me some links. You have a I would say you're a prolific writer. Could I say that? Would I be correct?
What would be an anti-lithic writer?
Would
that be if you just put out a bunch of novels about gargoyles?
Yeah, or if you have like one novel on Amazon and you talk about it for like 5 years.
Okay.
You know? But you have put out books. I
have.
And you got New Harlem like on Walmart and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Barnes & Noble pre-order just went live today, so anybody can grab it, can grab it.
Yes, awesome. If we got mods in the chat, if you could drop the link to Eudaimonia on Indiegogo, and then we'll also look at that Barnes & Noble too, because I think you sent me that link. Let me pull this up here. Boom.
I didn't see much about New Harlem. I thought it was going to be like a bunch of black guys or something.
It is.
Is it? And then I figure like JP comes on here and I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, you're talking about the creators.
Yeah. I figured it was like 10 black guys.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, I'm like the coach of the Miami Dolphins. I'm like 10%.
Yeah. Well, that counts. That counts for something. But Eudaimonia, talk about, let's do the little quick pitch, because this is highly praised by everyone I've heard read it, and something that I always thought was right up my alley, but I never pulled the trigger on. And now this is the third volume. Am I going to be able to get the first two with this as well?
Yeah, so the bundle at the top there with all three is a nice cheap $30. I kind of stepped up. Yeah, I kind of ramped up my printing production because I do a lot of like local art shows. I started getting out and like hand grabbing and all that. Nice. So I got copies for years, but all in total, it's going to be about 150 and change pages.
Yeah.
For $30. You can get the whole series. It's the last book. There's going to be no surprises. So yeah, this is the full one and done. You can grab all of them. What it is it's basically a story about World War I and about an American soldier who has kind of a surreal, kind of like traumatic experience in the war, and then he has a kind of surreal encounter meeting a mysterious woman who plays the cello.
Dude.
And it's really, the first book is really about like how those two things affected his life, like all the way throughout his life. The second story is more gets into the background of the woman who plays the cello, and it kind of expands on the idea of eudaimonia being a kind of universal thing that everybody's kind of searching for, that thing in life that makes what we go through worth enduring. And then the third book is basically that concept taken to more of like a universal timeless thing, where how all different people throughout history everywhere is looking for their eudaimonia.
Badass. It is really cool. I know you got a lot of eyes on the book after people read the first one and they realized a lot of it was written in iambic pentameter. So
I'd like to make it extra challenging for myself, but so it's a story about a World War I soldier, and I studied a lot of those soldiers and what they wrote, and more often than not, when they wrote about their experiences in the war, they wrote these kind of like poems, and they were all in iambic pentameter because that's what they grew up reading. So to tell one of their stories, I thought it was fitting to write the way they write.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love reading stuff like that in notably in like DC Comics lore, there's a character called the Demon Etrigan, and when Alan Moore wrote him, he had him speak in rhymes like iambic pentameter, and so that was always super fun with me. And my character, the Masquerade from the Lost Pages, when he's in his hero form, he speaks like that to like mock the mobster enemies he's fighting. So it is challenging, but it's I find it really fun to write like that.
Yeah.
So are you just a fan of World War One? You know, because most people choose World War Two.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, it's like I say on my tag here, I make World War One, World War fun.
Oh, that's a great
World War fun. Yeah. I mean, World War One is super interesting and it doesn't get a lot of attention. And, you know, putting it out in something like this is awesome because I think World War One's crazy interesting.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, warfare for like thousands of years had three pivotal moments. You had Alexander the Great basically inventing formations. You had Napoleon come along and kind of revolutionize formations. And then you had the moment where we introduced machine guns and we had to learn the lesson that you can't just have a bunch of dudes walking towards each other, firing machine guns at each other. And that's what World War One is to me. It's like this experience of like the carnage is so immense that it could only happen first one time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's probably one of the it's probably more interesting than World War II.
Yeah.
Actually, if you really know about it, I dig it a lot more.
So what is the story going into the third book now? Because you're dealing with multiple characters now.
Yeah.
too.
So the third book is basically a collection of all the short stories and things that I had published while I was writing Eudaimonia, because I had just started out, and like a lot of writers, when they start out, the first thing they want to do is get their name out there and get as many things published as they could.
Sure.
Which I did, but you kind of lose the rights to them once they've been, once you have them in a publisher's hands until they return them to you. So what I did for this book is it's basically all of the stories that I had published kind of converted into comics with people like Rich Ayala, Jose Garcia, Rod Looper's in here. And it's all like, so it's a collection of a bunch of different stories that all include the theme of people looking for their eudaimonia.
Why don't you explain that to the audience? Because I know how to pronounce it and what it means.
Clearly.
But the chat, someone like Jamie East in the chat, she might not know.
Right. Spell it phonetically.
It's if you scroll up, it's right there. But yeah, so have it on there. Yeah, everybody struggles with it. It's like the opposite of like an Asian word where it's nothing but consonants. It's nothing but vowels. So the eudaimonia is basically, it comes from Aristotelian philosophy. Aristotle didn't have many things right, but it was kind of from his school of thought that this emerged. And eudaimonia is basically, it translates to the good life, and it roughly approximates to that thing in life that enables us to overcome, or enables us to find meaning from tragedy, or from the trials that we inevitably go through. So it means different things for different people. I'm not trying to sell you a self-help book. I'm just trying to ask you to think about what eudaimonia might mean to you. So that could be your family. It could be a relationship with God. It could be the bottom of a bottle, or a spike filled with Hayron. Whatever that is for you. It's just like a kind of thinking exercise to think about what is your eudaimonia. And for me, I can tell you that my eudaimonia is, and it's going to be in the last story of the book, but my eudaimonia is making these books, and the idea of there being people I've never met spending their time and attention and money on something I've made. That's my eudaimonia. So this is my eudaimonia.
Very cool. Super original, It's awesome. We got Angela Curry in the chat. Where's Angela been?
She's out finding her eudaimonia.
Yeah.
She's in World War One.
So.
Yeah.
I hope so, Angela. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. We're talking about this awesome book. This just launched not too long ago, and you can get all 3 copies here just for $30. That's insane.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is a crazy deal. How many pages are each of these books? Are they all the same page count, or does it vary?
They're all around 50.
Wow.
Book 3 is going to go up depending on how many stories we unlock. There's a story unlock mode here.
That's right. So you're doing kind of like stretch goals, adding stories, which we did for the Lost Pages on our supplemental book.
Oh, yeah.
And that went really well for us. It was really cool. So I love to see that. Let me see. You could scroll down to the actual stretch goals here. Got some more. And you already unlocked your first one. And these are, all of these are more stories?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. Baltimore is just about being inspired by the city of Baltimore, which if you've ever seen The Wire, The Wire is so much like Baltimore, like the poor neighborhoods. It's kind of unreal. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of inspired by that. Gladys Done Busted Her Ass is about a convict working as a temp job at a hospital.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more sexy than that.
No. Come on. There's nobody named Gladys who's under the age of like 60.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Dang. Awesome. Setting the Pace is a story about jazz. What's Your Pleasure is a story about when I was homeless. And I can't recall when I last heard that train. I haven't actually written that yet, so that's a pipe dream.
Oh, nice.
Well, unfinished symphony.
Yeah, let's get this up there. So put this guy to work. He's got to write some more. So cool. Let's see what people are saying in the chat here. The link is pinned in the chat. We also have it in the description.
Yeah, Bancroft had a really good question for JP.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, he says, JP, who would grunt and sweat under a weary life when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin?
What?
I don't know. He's trying to be big foreheaded over there. It's probably some sort of
big philosophy is getting to him.
Shakespeare or something. That was a question. That was a good question. We got let's see. Did I see Baz? Baz is here. What's up, Baz? Good to see. Good to see you. Yo, are we going to get a How to Die #2? That's right. I totally forgot about that book.
Oh yeah.
No, that's dead.
Oh my goodness.
It's like it's lost media at this point. I mean, to kind of elaborate, I made the first book after Eudaimonia, and I just hated it.
Really?
And I tried working through it and making a #2. And I reached a conclusion like this sucks. Like it just sucks. It's not me. So I buried it like all the copies of E.T. in the desert.
Oh, well, that's a good way to go out. Baz says, "Yo suck." You. He says, I like that book. That's good.
Well, there's 1,000 copies out in the desert somewhere you could go find.
Yeah, Cicerone says How to Die took its own advice. There you go. Hilarious.
I feel like Citizen Ronan has been on like a 3-week streak of just being on fire in every chat I see him in.
Oh yeah, he's the best. You also do an awesome show. We talk about it. We try to talk about it every week here because you and Aldous do a show after this one around 11:30 Eastern time. Right. The Gutter. Which is a great show. Also, The Show. Which I haven't seen you on the show. Were you on this week?
I was on this week. Okay. You probably caught it when I was on vacation.
That's right. Yeah.
All this gives me like 2 weeks of vacation every year.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, most people don't get that.
Yeah. But The Gutter will be on tonight. You'll be on there with Aldous?
Yeah, we're going to be, we do this really weird thing where we review comics. It's really groundbreaking stuff in the scene right now. But tonight we're going to talk about. We talked about Vatican City 3 last week. This week we're talking about a murder mystery in New Orleans called Sweets.
That's right. Is that the one that Amanda B was reviewing? She read it a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
We're finally talking about something Amanda B has read. So
That's
Hopefully
good.
we'll
That's good.
spoil anything for her.
So you'll see this is the little Friday night lineup. We got Bancroft right after this. He's going to be launching his book, Fractured Mind. And then the Gutter, 11:30 Eastern time. They'll be talking about Sweets. Super cool. Really good late night listen. Sometimes I'll go get a slice of pizza and then just listen in the dark in my living room as I eat the pizza.
How do you see the pizza if you're sitting in the dark?
You don't need to see it.
Wait,
you use
what?
your tongue to feel.
That's so weird. I would.
Do you think that blind people just smear food all over their face?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Like you see somebody covered in food and you're like, oh, that guy must be blind.
Yeah, he's clearly blind.
Let me pull up the other thing you sent me here. This is on Barnes and Noble's website. Look at that.
Dude, that's cool.
New Harlem on Barnes and Noble. This is the pre-order?
Yep.
Sweet.
And I got it right here.
Let me see. Let me pull you up there.
Wow,
Okay, let me.
looks fantastic. You're fading in and out of existence.
No.
Don't go into the light.
There it is. There it is. That looks good. Awesome. Yeah, talk a little bit about this because maybe some people in the chat, like my brother, he's unfamiliar with it. Talk about
you heard my
It's such a breath of fresh air because I don't have to talk about like philosophical precepts to understanding the book. This is like the easiest pitch ever. It's a murder mystery in old New York. That's it. That's the end of my pitch.
Cool.
Now that I've kind of snuck in the publisher through the back door, I can start sneaking in things. So this book is a lot of it is about punching a communist in the face over and over again.
Oh man. Yeah. I've always wanted to do that.
Because I'm just like, when I was in college, I studied a lot of it's called the Harlem Renaissance. It's from like the late 1910s until the 30s, mostly. And I would read these stories about these black artists who they would basically, communists would kind of like sneak into the scene and like throw money at them to become like, and they would basically subvert the scene. And it was like, you can either become a communist or we can just like make you broke and penniless and nobody will know who you are. Yeah. And so, I kind of made that guy the villain of this book. He's a guy who kind of like, he's very influential and wealthy, and he gets the shit beat out of him multiple times.
Yeah, that's pretty standard play.
Yeah,
I feel like.
That's super cool. Do I remember you had a Kane and White cover?
Yeah, this is also Kane and White.
Oh, kick ass. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does some badass work.
He's one of those 10 guys I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's right.
Earlier.
And this is this the first or second book?
That's the second one.
Oh, cool.
So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to basically going to signal boost everybody to go get it from Barnes and Noble if they just want the book, because it helps me more than anything to make sales through Barnes and Noble. So I want to get as many of those as I can. If you're looking for book 1 and 2, or if you want a signed copy, I'm just going to do like a Fund My Comics storefront where you can just grab those there. But it's going to be cheaper to get it like this than to get it from me. Or it's going to be, so to save us both money, if you just want the second book, just grab this.
Cool.
Are they is it a storyline where you have to read the first one to get into the second one, or are they like episodic?
I would say there's like character themes from the first book that explain the second one. So the two main characters are basically, they team up to solve mysteries, but they're also kind of jerks to each other. And getting the beginning of that story might help explain why they're such jerks to each other in the second. So if you haven't yet read the first one, I would recommend it. I think that one's you can get that on Amazon or the Harvard bookstore.
Oh, awesome.
Dude, you're out there.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome to see this stuff out there. Everybody check this out. I will drop this link also for the pre-order into the chat. And here, let me put that in there. Super cool. Are you working on a third installment of the New Harlem series?
Yeah, I think New Orleans is going to be like my when I can't think of anything fresh and original, I just keep going back to it because they're kind of each issue is going to be 90 pages and it's kind of structured roughly in the same format as like a murder mystery TV show.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
definitive beginning, definitive end, character undercurrents that flow from book to book. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep this one going. I can't really see any reason to stop it.
Yeah, I really like that structure. That's how we have our series Magic Cop structured. It's like an episode of Miami Vice, So you have that's basically 4 issues or 4 chapters in the book. Even though it takes a while to do 90 pages, 92 pages,
and it's not like a mystery though. Yours is more of a
Yours is a mystery.
Right?
Ours is more like a 80s cop show,
like a procedural.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Miami Vice,
right? It's like it's the audience knows what's going on, but you're following the characters that are discovering it.
Yeah, so you as the audience, you basically meet the bad guy early, and the whole adventure is the cops tracking him down and taking him down.
Well, I asked because the mystery fandom is very particular on what is what. So, for example. A cozy murder mystery is a murder mystery in which there is no violence. You know what I mean? So it starts with like a body. That's a cozy murder mystery, and they're very particular about what's what.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's so many kind of like subgenres of that, or even like something like Columbo would be totally different as well.
Right. What would you consider like a wholesome murder mystery then?
I mean, there are honestly murder mystery shows for anything you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
There's one where it's like 2 women detectives solve murders that pertain to gardening, and their names are Rosemary and Thyme.
That's not that new show that's on now, is it?
I don't know.
No, this is old.
Oh, okay. Because there's like some new show that's like the Garden Club or something, and there's like a murder mystery that's going on with it. It just made me think of that. I just saw a commercial for it.
The formula for mine is each book opens with the main character Coleman solving a mystery that is just ridiculous, and he immediately recognizes it, and it's almost like comical how silly this mystery is. And so in the second book he does this. And the guy, the police detective is like, oh, hey, this is Coleman. He's really good at solving mysteries involving people. He already knows that he witnessed most of the events already. And so he basically is just making fun of him like, yeah, you're not impressive. You were here, so you know who did it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, Maromi's listing Monk, Psych.
Yeah, Monk, great. I could see being a wholesome murder mystery. Monk.
You think so?
Yeah, he's so... endearing.
He's wholesome.
Yeah, he's
wholesome. Psych was great. It's a great premise.
Yeah, Psych is like what you're talking about. Well, like he knows because he has the like pre-information, right? Oh. No, because Psych, yeah, he could notice and stuff, but like your guy, like he was there or whatever. So it's not like he's actually uncovering anything.
I like that character because he's like stumbles upon. He kind of is a doofus as well. The Psych character.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Monk is the autism guy.
Super autism.
I like the one. It was called Jonathan? It was some British murder mystery involving a magician's assistant. Like not even the magician, but the assistant to the magician. And he was able to solve mysteries because he produces the illusions for the magician. So he knows how illusions work.
Someone was just talking about this, and it might have been you on a show with Aldous.
Probably.
Okay.
That sounds about right. I only have like 4 or 5 references.
3 things you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds so familiar. And I was watching a stream, and it might have been you guys. But yeah, I thought that was a cool premise. I like that. The magician aspect. You should do a crossover between Noir, man, and How to Die. Baz is loving How to Die.
I know.
Baz might give you a grant to help you get started on How to Die too.
For it, would you make it?
I was actually just talking to all. Sometimes I will throw ideas at Aldous, and he will have to like talk me down from the ledge.
Yeah.
And the idea I had was to see how close I could get to doing a crossover issue with Noirlum and Doctor Who. Like, what could I have? Could I have him meet a guy like? Could I have like a kind of blue phone box, and could he meet a guy who kind of looks like one of the doctors and kind of talks like him? Like, how close could I get without being sued?
Yeah, you'd have to do it like as a zine or something. And give it away for free.
Maybe. I mean, there's this old lawsuit that Doc talks about all the time about a video game, and it was like World Heroes got sued by Capcom because they basically just ripped off like a bunch of Street Fighter characters and put them in their game.
Yeah.
And then World Heroes won because the courts were just like, yeah, that's just like a guy in his suits or whatever. Right.
Your characters are, I mean, you have the guy that's Mike Tyson that's not Mike Tyson. You've got the guy who's Bruce Lee, but not Bruce Lee. Like,
right. You know who did that is he was around crowdfunding for like 2 seconds, but he still streams. His name's Svi, and he went by like Geeky Rabbi or something. You remember this guy? And he lives in Israel. I'm pretty sure.
He was
something.
His name was Svi.
It was TZI, I think, or TVI or something like that. He's still on YouTube. I'm subbing to him. He used to tag me in all his tweets. Anyways, he did a comic, and it was basically like his League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And I'm pretty sure one of the characters was a Doctor Who inspired character. And he kind of like billed it as that in the crowdfunder. Like he had a James Bond stand-in. He had a Doctor Who stand-in. Does anybody remember what I'm talking about? Rabbi from Another Planet? Is that him, Dale?
Yeah, that's him. Because his logo was an alien, like a regular, like the green alien head with the curls and the Jew hat and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he kind of did something like that. I remember that. It was very 1970s, that book.
I like Jay Ryan's Doctor Who. You can make him Asian and spell it HU, and then he arrives in a retardus. Yeah, he arrives in the retardus.
That's awesome. What was the book called, Dale? Do you remember? It's going to bother me. Yeah, that was interesting. So yeah,
that was one thing that I never really understood from like CG of like 5 years ago when people would come on and they would be like, this is my, G.I. Joe, or this is my, it's like, well, then why not just pick up G.I. Joe? Like, why would anybody trust somebody who has who's never put out a book to do a G.I. Joe?
Sure. Yeah. Or even like a lot of people do the public domain characters as well.
Yeah.
And
I don't get that.
Like just make,
you just make your own character. That'd be all right.
Yeah. It's like you're making bad books that make people seem wary about public domain. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, public domain isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you just have a bunch of people just shoveling crap into a wheelbarrow, it kind of ruins it for everybody.
Sure.
Exactly.
Oh, it was called The Imperium. Yeah, I think you're right. Daily.
Yeah. Henry Bemis, there's more than one type of Jew hat. Okay.
Wow.
They have like the big black hat thing with the thing.
Oh, yeah. They got the hat.
yarmulke. Cool. Yeah. They got that little box or whatever.
Man of many hats, I would say. Yeah, for sure. But guys, definitely, if you have not yet, go to the campaign page for Eudaimonia Book 3. You could get all 3 books for an insane price of $30. Crazy. And it sounds like it's an awesome story. Everybody that I know that's read it has really enjoyed it. And now Brandon's into it because it's about World War I. He just found out.
And a cello.
Yeah, cellos are cool.
Cellos sound
and if you're not sure, there's a story right on the preview page, so you can just give it a read. And if it tickles your fancy, if it looks like something you might be into, that's the perfect way to find out.
That's awesome. Yeah, perfect. Also, another thing about UJP that I dig is you're doing these shows with Aldous where you're reviewing books, and it seems like you're a reader, you're reading more and more comics. That's just going to add to your arsenal of creating down the line. I think a big downfall of some creators is as they get older, they stop reading, whether it be modern comics or great stuff from the past. And they kind of seclude themselves in their own heads of what they perceive as good comics,
Yeah, but also, I mean, you might want to say a prayer for Aldous, because I have made him my unwilling professor in the history of comics.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, where it's like, it's going to be year 8 and I still don't get it all.
Yeah. I mean, it's ever expanding, there's so many stories to take in. But yeah, everybody go check this out. JP, thanks for coming on. We're going to go into Bancrofts in a second here, but any last words for the people in the chat?
Anybody who goes to the page, even if you don't buy, thank you for your attention. Thank you for your consideration. I appreciate you taking the time to check out my stuff, and we can hopefully part as friends if it's not what you're looking for.
Hey, bro, I like that. Henry Bemis does have a question for you. What kind of person has never seen Blade Runner?
A person with poor parents.
Wow.
And I don't mean like financially, though we were. I mean like, I mean poor as in they had no taste and they wouldn't let me watch anything good.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's okay because my mom just died recently, so I hope you feel better about yourself, Henry Bemis.
Yeah, come on, Henry, you got to bring this down.
Well, now you could watch the movie, right?
Yeah.
My mom made a movie?
No, you could watch Blade Runner. Yeah.
Is my mom in it? I miss her. I miss her dearly.
Oh my God, Henry Bemis, I blame you. Snuggie doesn't even like Blade Runner. I think it might be overrated.
I haven't seen the first one.
Yeah. We'll leave it on that, people. We'll see you Monday with another Hardline stream. Have a great weekend. A lot of awesome books out there, amazing campaigns. Go back some stuff tonight. Eudaimonia, we got Bancroft launching on his site. You got, if you're a fan of Vatican City from Pear, he's got his original art campaign up, which is broken 10K in like a day, which is amazing. So check that out. And if you want any of our books, go to zadecomics.com. We'll see you there. You get some cool shirts and stuff. But until then, have a good weekend, everybody. We'll catch you on the flip-flop.
See ya.
All right.
Today is fine day in California. Huh? True.
Final question. There's one thing you could change about the industry. What would it be?
One thing I'd change about the industry.
Leading question.
It's just stop sticking your nose in what other people are doing and get on with your own work. Do you know what I mean? Just stick your nose out of people's business, and tell them what they should be fucking doing and not doing, and do your own shit. You should be, if you want to be creative, you should be getting on with your own deal,